Good morning, good morning. Are you ready for what I am going to share with you this morning? We are going to be talking about Marxism. We are going to be talking about the School of Frankfurt. We are going to be talking about revolution in United States of America. We are going to be talking about the Marxist Democrat Party of United States of America and their collaborator and cooperators, Republicans, rhinos. And you know what? Buckle up. Are you ready? Buckle up because what I'm going to be sharing with you today in this video is going to blow your mind out.
It's an insane world, and if anyone's read history, please read the Bolshevik Revolution, read the Communist Revolution. This is how it starts. This is what we're living through. We're living through a real-life Marxist subversion. This is how it starts. Destroy any semblance of normalcy, law, understanding of family, culture, anything, and then everything is possible. Everything is up in the air, and you no longer have a society.
Yeah. So I don't know if you overheard when you were standing here, but Governor DeSantis just passed a law or legislation in Florida.
No squatter rights. I also agree against his ban in teaching kids pedophilic grooming literature in school. I'm against his racist DEI bans. I'm against all of this. Like I was telling the gentleman, I'm originally from Ukraine. We lived under this communist Marxist crap. We were afraid to talk in public. We had to double speak. We had to lie. We lived in 1984. And for us to come here in 1988 and 36 years later see this country, the only free, real free country where a whole world sends their best, their worst to do their best. This is the only place you could do it. Go anywhere in the world and try to use your own 2 feet to build something. Cultures won't accept you. You will not be able to break through the barriers of religion, race, nationality. This is the only place left, and that is precisely why the world's powers are trying to destroy it. This is the last bastion of freedom and civilization in the world. Like it or I don't care. I really don't. The history proves it. The literature proves it. And the actual actions of our government and the results prove it. We're being invaded. It's a real-life insurrection. Anyone who's ever done the election was stolen 22. I know that's allergic to most people to hear, but it's a fact. The information's there. The numbers are there. The recording, everything is there. And to finalize it, Trump 2024 is our only solution.
I appreciate your opinion.
No problem.
Yeah.
No problem. And I have no problem speaking the truth and taking what comes with it. We're living at a time where people are afraid to stand up for what they believe. And that is part of the problem. When others see you no longer stand up for things that people used to, they have no problem laying down for those things either. So if you don't take a stand, you'll fall for anything. And I choose to take a stand.
If you don't know what is Marxism, you need to look it up. Google it. Marxism, okay? So Marxism, it was something very important that happened and changed countries and people's life around 150 years ago, okay? It consists in, back in those days, in putting people against by using the rich and the poor, right? So it was very effective because the way that they did it back in those days, especially in Russia, in those countries that embrace communism. Communism is coming from Marxism, okay? It was very effective. But when they finish with Europe and they look into this continent from Canada all the way to Argentina, they figure out, specifically in United States, that issue of rich and poor will not work. You know why? Because America had the middle class, rich, middle class, poor, basically showing Marxists the people when they are in the poverty level they can grow out of that and become in the middle class. Why? Because America Constitution give American, anybody who's living in this land, the right to become prosperous by their own means, using their talent, using their imagination, and developing everything that they want to create, creativity, right? To develop themselves, to create money, and to create prosperity. So when they saw, the Marxists saw that America has the middle class, the upper class, middle class, and the, poor class, they say, well, what it worked for us in Europe, specifically in Russia, in all those countries, is not going to work in the United States. Well, let's reorganize and let's find another way on how we're going to tackle America so we can submit America to our ideology. So they became with the Frankfurt School, okay? The Frankfurt School is a school of thought in sociology and critical philosophy. It is associated with the Institute of Social Research, founded at Goethe University, Frankfurt in 1923. All right? In 1923, formed during the Weimar Republic, during the European interwar period, the first generation of the Frankfurt School was composed of intellectuals, academics, and political dissidents dissatisfied with the contemporary socio-economic system of the 1930s, namely capitalism, fascism, and communism. So they were not happy with what they call capitalism. Capitalism is what we understand people being independent and using their own talent, their own imagination, and developing their own prosperity. So they saw they couldn't tackle America with the poor and versus rich. So what they become with another idea with this School of Frankfurt. They say, okay, we're gonna tackle America with different issues like race. We're gonna attack America with the feminism, destroying the family, humiliating men, the role of men in America, taking children away from them. And if you notice, the date is 1923. But America started falling apart when Lyndon Johnson, specifically the black community, they fall into their knees in front of white Democratic Party when they created this dependency and welfare. Welfare is communism. Why? Because they limit people into that system, so they depend in that system. So what I mean by that is, so let's break them in pieces, like using racism, using feminism, using the destruction of the family. And all this is tangled to government dependency. So that was the way that they implemented. And then they decided to infiltrate political parties, government, school. They infiltrated everything. So the Frankfurt School is the one that are using racism, are using feminism, are using all that against us. So today we had the black community believing that America has racism. And I see them driving fancy cars, living in nice houses, having a job. They can decide where to work or where not. They can decide if they want to be prosperous or not. No, but they have in their brain, they have in their mentality, the government has to give them because of reparation. That's another issue too, reparation, okay? None of them were slaves, but they want reparation. Their parents were not a slave, but they want reparation. All those concepts, all those ideas are coming from the Frankfurt School. And this is the way the Marxist-Leninism are destroying United States of America. They are destroying us from within. Another issue would be the mandates. When the political parties are allowing the government to violate people's rights, people's civil rights, including the voting system, is being violated. We are not electing. We are electing, but they are selecting. So you can see that, for example, what happened with me in the night of the election. The Democrats' results came at 9 o'clock. My results, the result of my election in the same district, my result came out at 12 in the morning. Why? Because they stopped counting 3 times, each one interval for 1 hour. Right? So what they did to me in a small scale is what they're going to do with President Trump. I don't believe President Trump is going to be reelected. Not because he doesn't have the votes. Yes, he had the votes. But they're going to decide to humiliate him by electing Biden, the person who is not out there completely. He's weak. He's a beta man. They're going to humiliate the alpha man with the beta man. They're going to humiliate the leader man president with the weak follower president. Yes. And this is going to be a total moral destruction in the United States of America. More than half of the population is going to be depressed. They're going to put their guards down. And that's the moment when the Marxists, the global agenda, is going to take over our country. People are not going to be able to go out and claim for their freedom and liberties. And everybody, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, everybody is going to be suffering the consequences of the School of Frankfurt. Agenda 2030? Yes, that's the whole goal. Everybody become a slave in all the countries in the world. And the elite on top, they are the one who's going to be in charge of our life. Are they trying to do slavery, bringing back Jim Crow? Of course, yes. The white Democrats, the white Republicans, all of them, they are in the position like this. If it's not for us, it's not for anybody. They don't want minorities being free. They don't want freedom for everybody. If they have to sacrifice their own just for them to be on top, they will do it. They showed that already on the 2020 election, and get ready because the 2024 election is going to be the bomb. It's going to be the destruction, complete destruction of this system. Of course, not in a boom. It's going to be slowly, but denigrating Americans little by little is going to be the goal. This is me. This is just my opinion. What are the subjects or issues implemented by the School of Frankfurt in the United States? There are many issues, okay? One of them is invasion. Second, faith, replacing a faith with another faith. The other one is mutilation, killing a generation. And the other one is humiliating the alpha man, and so on. There is a book that I would love for everybody to buy it and read it. The name of the book is Clash of Civilization by Samuel Huntington. Let's go and dive in deep into the issues. Invasion. The School of Frankfurt are using invasion as an immigration weapon against the United States of America. In this case, we're going to be focusing on America. Using displacement, coercion, and foreign policy. Bringing people to this country to replace our culture and our civilization. When you bring people from the Middle East, who their culture is different, and you bring people from Central America and South America, where the mentality is socialist, government dependent, that is a weapon against our nation. The second one is the faith. They are replacing our faith for another culture faith, in this case for the Muslims. Did you know that Muslims, they don't assimilate? Do you know the Muslims come to occupy, not to assimilate. They come to transform the West, our country, how did they do it? They started from the cities upper up. Now in United States, you will find a few cities under the control of Muslims. Okay, and who put them in there? The next agenda, which I'm going to talk about, is the mutilation agenda. What I mean mutilation is not only mutilation in organs, but also mutilation here in the brain. They are mutilating themselves by refusing to be an American, by refusing to follow the Constitution, by refusing to understand that America was founded under the Judeo-Christian concept, and the freedoms emanate from our foundation, which is the Judeo Foundation, for Judeo-Christian Foundation. So by replacing our mentality, mutilating us from here, from our philosophy, way of life, from our freedom, from the meaning of being an American. Yes, we are a Christian nation. Why? Because we were founded on Christian belief. That is another subject for another day. Let me tell you something. These people who are coming from other countries through the border, they are using our freedom against ourselves. The replacement of our culture and our civilization right in front of our eyes, and everybody is silent. Anyways, we're gonna go now talk about how the Marxist Democrats 2024 election goal are gonna be. And I'm gonna explain you how it's going to be. Their main goal is to humiliate Trump by electing a woman of color, and the consequences will be the defeating of the alpha man, the defeating of the war leader, as President Trump was in the past. In this way, the woman agenda will be implemented. When they say the Jim Crow will be implemented, yes, ma'am. Yes, Jim Crow will be implemented, but not only for Black American. It's going to be implemented for all races, because the elite against us, the rest. So Jim Crow will be implemented to us, everybody who are not part of the clique of the elite. The United Nations will be taking decisions for us when the Democrat Marxist candidate get reelected. How they're gonna get reelected? By using governors in each state of United States of America when they pass the law on 2021 signed by Biden. When the power of the Electoral College was taken away from them and it was signed by law, who's going to be deciding is the governors. Yes, the governor of each state. When we have people coming from other cultures, here is they are going to be replacing Christianity for another faith. And we can see that in a few cities in America where Islamists are in control of cities, and their call of prayer 5 times a day are being implemented. So what these Frankfurt school students and followers and teachers did for many years, they took out Christianity from school, they took out Christianity from government, they took out Christianity from every institution, making it easy for Muslims to come and take over. Here you have it. They are using our Constitution against us, okay? The other issue is the concept of when we elect politicians to serve us, because When you read the Constitution, these people who are elected, they are there to serve us, the people. They are changing that concept. Now they are not there to serve us anymore. They are elected to serve themselves, elected to serve the group who support them financially. They are there to represent pharma. They are there to represent all these millionaires to take decisions that benefit those group, not with the people. And they become little tyrants in each, not only city and county, but they become tyrants in districts, states, and in the federal level. And this is one way to explain how the School of Frankfurt, what are accomplishing for over 90 years. This is not a sudden process. This is being a slow process implemented little by little, president by president, okay? Selling us out, selling our freedom out to other countries, to another super entities outside United States, taking control of our freedom and our liberties. And one way of doing it is through voting system. Take a look of Smartmatic Dominion software and you will find the answer. Here you have it. This is Venezuela 2.0, all over again, but in English. I hope you have a great day.